Welcome back to Fuck It Friday, where I pick a movie I am pretty certain it's going to be bad. I watch it anyway, and do a quick review for it. The two main questions are, is it really that bad? But also, if it is it at least a good time? Today's film is 2022's Christmas, Bloody Christmas, which follows a robotic Santa Claus at a toy store that malfunctions and goes on a killing spree in a small town. And despite the fun premise, I was concerned about this one from the start. Characters in slashers are often, well, bad. But here it felt like they were trying way too hard to make these characters as unlikable as possible. I mean, they had some semi entertaining dialogue and arguments about music and movies and places, but for one thing, as a person who swears quite frequently, their swearing quickly got on my fucking nerves. It was constant and unnatural, and they just felt like these edgy edgelord, woe is me characters that I would never want to interact with, and they really never got any better. And the high energy dialogue is also damn near nonstop, and hardly any of it is interesting. Also, excuse a lot of horror movies for constant yelling in high stress situations, because a lot of people would realistically react in that way, but even the yelling started to get under my skin, which is saying something. But moving on to the robotic Santa, it was handled fine. In slasher fashion, despite his slow movements, it feels like he teleports with how quickly he gets around. The kills are okay, he does some brutal stuff, but they constantly go for these unclear close ups, so you can't really appreciate the gore. This also reminded me of like a holiday version of the first Terminator, but just not good. So with Christmas Bloody Christmas, I know you don't need great characters to make slashers work, but when the slasher elements are largely bland and it just feels like we're going through the motions with yet another forgettable slasher, characters who are at least fun would help. Last thing I'll say is this movie also gets to the point where it's just so unbearably repetitive. I just want it to end. It seemed like they kept just adding things on to extend the runtime, but it wasn't anything worth waiting 20 more minutes for the credits. But anyway, have you seen Christmas Bloody Christmas? If so, I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I hope many of you enjoyed it a bit more than I did.